See, ASAP Rocky had a problem. He's getting sued in what's gonna be a civil trial by his former friend, ASAP Relli. Now, some of you may be like, wait a second, hold on. Boy was just in a trial. Well, he was in a trial, but he was in a criminal trial. Listen closely. Civil trials and criminal trials are two different things. ASAP Rocky just beat his criminal trial against his friend, ASAP Relli. But now, ASAP Relli has the option to put him into a civil trial, which means he's gonna sue him most likely for monetary gain. Why ASAP Relli wanted to do the criminal trial first is because a lot of times when someone is proven guilty in a criminal trial, then it's gonna be easier to prove them guilty in a civil trial, meaning ASAP Relli will get to get paid out. That being said, again, ASAP Rocky acquitted in the criminal trial, meaning they're basically saying he's not guilty. So ASAP Relli might have a tougher time in the civil trial because now the judge is thinking, wait a second, they already told you to get on out of here, ASAP Relli. You want to sue him now? That being said, again, it's generally much easier to win a civil trial than it is to get somebody locked up for a number of years. People are much more hesitant to, let's say, lock up ASAP Rocky for 10 years than to just say, okay, ASAP Rocky, give him some money. You know what I'm saying? So even though ASAP Relli, quote unquote, lost the criminal trial, ASAP Relli is not really the one doing the criminal trial. I'll explain in a second. He's still hoping that he has a chance to win the civil trial because, again, civil trials are a little bit easier than criminal trials. Okay, let's get down into it a little bit more so it'll make more sense. And we'll start at the beginning. ASAP Rocky and ASAP Relli were friends. I mean, they gotta be friends. They have the same name, ASAP, right? Except for the fact that I'm lying. ASAP is not a name. ASAP is a crew. It's a group. Their names are Rocky and Relli. They both belong to the group ASAP, okay? But regardless, they were very tight. Now, you may have heard of ASAP Rocky, but you may not have heard of ASAP Relli. Well, that's because ASAP Rocky blew up. He became super famous from the group. There are a bunch of other ASAP members. They didn't get as famous as ASAP Rocky. Now, usually when somebody from the group gets famous, and this has happened to a bunch of groups in the past, when usually that one person gets famous, you might have somebody else in the group that's a little envious, a little jealous. I'm not saying ASAP Relli was jealous, but I mean, it's looking like it. I'm not gonna lie to you. By the way, in these podcasts, in these videos, you're gonna hear more of my opinion. One day, ASAP Relli texts ASAP Rocky, telling him, hey, our friend passed away. Another ASAP crew member passed away. ASAP Rocky said, yeah, I know. ASAP Relli said, you know what, Rocky, you changed. You ain't paid for our friend's funeral. You got all this money now, you big money boy now, and you can't even pay for our boy's funeral. You changed, bro. He starts going off on Rocky. Rocky doesn't reply. A little while later, through circumstances I'm not gonna get into, they hop on the phone together and they're arguing a little bit. It's not looking good. A little while after that, another ASAP crew member hits up ASAP Relli. They said, oh, this argument started because you thought ASAP Rocky didn't pay for our boy's funeral, right? ASAP Relli said, yeah, he changed. They told him, Relli, ASAP Rocky actually paid for the entire funeral. Relli said, what? They said, yeah, Relli. He paid for the whole thing. ASAP Relli said, well, we're already in it now. And I get it. You know when you in an argument with somebody and you know you're wrong? Sometimes you gotta just see it through. So Relli decided, you know what? I'ma just see it through. So they start arguing some more. Relli's telling Rocky, hey, yo, you still changed though. You still trash. You still ain't it. And it all comes to a head when Relli flies out to LA. He's chilling in a hotel. Rocky's in LA. He don't like how Relli's been talking to him. So he tells Relli, hey, where you at? Relli says, uh-oh. I don't like the way he asked that question through text. It seems very abrupt. No emojis, no nothing. He tells Rocky, I'm around. ASAP Rocky tells him, well, look, I'm around too. Let's meet up. ASAP Relli says, all right, fine, cool. So they meet up. As soon as they meet up, you see them yelling at each other as they walk towards each other. This part was on camera. You see ASAP Rocky rush over to Relli and they start tussling a little bit. You see them folk grabbing onto each other, moving around. Two other ASAP crew members that were with A$AP Rocky rush over to separate things because they know both of them, it's a little rough. You then see A$AP Rocky walk into the camera frame with a gun. Now, this gun is the major crux. Is that the right word? I don't know. It's the major point of the case. I'll explain more in a second. But that's what the whole case basically kinda hinged on. Again, I'll explain more in a second. But, Rocky rushes over to Relli, and you don't see what he does with the gun because they hop out of frame again. You then see A$AP Rocky and his crew members leave. Okay, so there's a lot of moments that were just not on camera. So it's a jury's job to fill in the blanks. Well, it's the prosecutor's job, it's Rocky's lawyers to fill in the blanks, and it's the jury's job to decide which story is true. And this is when the criminal trial aspect comes into play. A$AP Relli says, hey, A$AP Rocky, what he did with that gun was shoot, and I got hurt. A$AP Rocky, of course, is saying, no, that's not what happened. Now, this next part's important. Somebody calls the police, not A$AP Relli. Somebody calls the police saying they heard loud pops. Not looking good for A$AP Rocky, right? So the police rush over to the scene. They look around and they don't find any bullets on the floor. They don't find any shell casings. When you fire a gun, usually shell casings are left on the floor. The police leave. A$AP Relli is in communication with the police. He's telling them, hey, A$AP Rocky did do that. He did shoot at me. The police are telling him, we didn't find any shell casings, so, we can't really do anything about that. A$AP Relli then goes over to the scene. He miraculously finds shell casing, calls the police and says, hey, I have your evidence right here. I found some shell casings that you guys couldn't find. The police go, okay, sure. They grab the shell casings. They grab A$AP Rocky, tell him you were shooting in this location. We acquired some shell casings, so you might go to jail for like 15 years. Now, let me tell you this. There was no way A$AP Rocky was ever going to get booked for this. He was never going to jail for this. A$AP Relli, the victim, found shell casings on the floor. Does that make sense? No prosecutor would usually take this case. They would just be like, yo, there's not enough evidence. This is ridiculous. We're not going to do it. But a lot of times, prosecutors see stars in their eye. If they book this famous person for a certain amount of years, then it propels that prosecutor's career. Prosecutor, DA, district attorney, whatever, all the same thing. Not the same thing, but whatever. It propels their career. So A$AP Rocky's lawyer's sitting there like, are y'all serious? He's not going to jail for this. Prosecutors go, how about we bring it from 15 years down to, just a couple months. They wanted to do this because they wanted a conviction. Again, it propels the prosecutor, the DA, it propels their career. They don't care how long he goes to jail for. As long as the headlines read, they locked up A$AP Rocky. So A$AP Rocky's lawyer tells them, how about we just go to court and see what's up? So they go to court, see what's up. Again, no chance of the police, law enforcement, prosecutors, DA winning this. Now, again, this is the criminal trial. So prosecutors, DAs have to convince a jury that A$AP Rocky indeed shot at his friend. How do you do that? Witnesses. Okay, so who was there? Other A$AP crew members that came with A$AP Rocky. They're close with A$AP Rocky, not so much A$AP Relli. So they bring the crew members to the stand and they say, hey, what happened? They say, we ain't see nothing. The prosecutor said, all right. They bring in people from the surrounding area. They tell them, hey, y'all called us. Y'all told us y'all heard pop, pop, pop. Did y'all see what happened? They said, no, we ain't really see nothing. We heard a couple pops and I don't know. Prosecutors were like, all right, wait a second. Hold on. A$AP Rocky still had a gun. You could see it in the video. So prosecutors hinge on that. They said, wait a second, jury, y'all saw he had a gun. The jury said, oh, he did have a gun though. So A$AP Rocky's lawyers, no matter how bad the evidence is, no matter if there's no witnesses, no matter if the shell casings were found by A$AP Relli, A$AP Rocky still had a gun. It's not looking good. So A$AP Rocky's lawyers hop up and say it was a fake gun. It was for a music video shoot that A$AP Rocky had with Rihanna. He just brought it to scare A$AP Relli. He wasn't going to do nothing with it. It just fires blanks. You might hear a pop pop, but it's not real. The story doesn't have to be good. Whether the gun was real, whether the gun was fake, there's something called reasonable doubt. If you think the gun might have been fake, then you can't lock up Rocky for like 10 years. If prosecutors can prove beyond a reasonable doubt, like there is no doubt that that gun was real, then you can lock up Rocky. Prosecutors can't really prove that the gun was real or the gun was fake. All they saw was the video. If they had those shell casings, then they could show that the gun was real. So they bring in the police. They say, hey, the police have shell casings. A$AP Rocky's gun was real. A$AP Rocky's lawyer says, where did y'all find those shell casings? And again, A$AP Relli is the one who found the shell casings, right? The guy who wants A$AP Rocky to go to jail found the shell casings. Police did not find the shell casings. Again, so the jury's like, yo, what the? Fast trial. It was like a week in and out. The jury said, please don't come to us with this nonsense. A$AP Rocky, you're free to go. Now, another big point A$AP Rocky's lawyers were saying was the whole reason A$AP Relli is doing all this, is saying that A$AP Rocky shot at him, is because A$AP Relli wants money. They also brought in a friend of theirs, another A$AP crew member. Apparently, oh no, this guy was not a crew member. He was A$AP Relli's friend. Apparently, A$AP Relli texted his friend saying, hey bro, I'm finna take A$AP Rocky for a ride. I'm finna take some money from bro. I texted A$AP Rocky, A$AP Relli apparently, allegedly is saying this. I texted A$AP Rocky telling him, hey bro, give me some money and we not gonna go to trial. I'm finna get the police to drop the charges. A$AP Rocky says, yes, A$AP Relli did tell me to give him some money, but you can't just take the word of A$AP Rocky. You know, A$AP Relli and A$AP Rocky are going against each other. So when a third party comes in, a friend of A$AP Relli's comes in and says, my friend A$AP Relli did say that. He did tell A$AP Rocky that he wants money from him. A$AP Relli told me that he said that. Well, that's a terrible look for A$AP Relli, right? Because again, that's A$AP Relli's friend saying this. Now, this is all alleged. His friend may have been lying, may not have been lying, but it doesn't matter. It just further starts to paint the picture and proves A$AP Rocky's lawyers right. A$AP Rocky's lawyers are saying, A$AP Relli is doing this for money. I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of reasons. His friend said this. A$AP Relli just started random arguments for no reason, saying, why didn't you pay for our friend's funeral? Turns out A$AP Rocky did pay for the funeral. A$AP Relli still wants to argue. He's trying to egg A$AP Rocky on. He wants A$AP Rocky to do something so A$AP Relli can get some money from this. Not looking good for A$AP Relli because of the next trial, the civil trial. Not the criminal trial. We just went through the criminal trial. A$AP Rocky acquitted. A$AP Relli isn't going against A$AP Rocky technically in a criminal trial. It's the state versus A$AP Rocky. It's the police versus A$AP Rocky. A$AP Relli is just saying, this is what happened to me. You guys should put him in jail. And then the state comes in to defend him. Now, with the with the civil trial, A$AP Relli is defending himself. So he's saying, this is what happened to me, everybody. I want some money from A$AP Rocky. It's Relli versus Rocky. Now again, A$AP Rocky's lawyers knew this was coming because of the nature of criminal and civil trials. For instance, fun fact, O.J. Simpson was acquitted in his criminal trial. They said, O.J. Simpson, you didn't do it. You're free to go. But in his civil trial, when he was sued by the family for what he did to his wife, allegedly, not allegedly, we're not going to get into that. But he lost his civil trial because in the criminal trial, they're saying, can we prove without a shadow of a doubt he did it? If we say he's guilty, he's going to jail for 25 years to life. Can we prove 100% he did it? We don't know. So they said not guilty. Civil trial, they said, prove it, not prove it. Bro, we think you did it. Give the family this amount of money. Same thing can happen to A$AP Rocky. It's probably not going to happen, but same thing can happen. It's much easier to, prove somebody quote unquote guilty in a civil trial. So A$AP Rocky's lawyers knew this was coming, and A$AP Relli did not even skip a beat, did not even wait until the criminal trial was cold. He immediately says, you know what? I'm suing A$AP Rocky. You got me, huh? You got me. This is what I wanted to do. I'm suing him. Give me my money, A$AP Rocky. He's probably gonna lose, because regardless of if it's a civil trial or a criminal trial, you still need to prove it. You still need to prove that A$AP Rocky shot at you. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, is A$AP Relli an idiot? There's no way he's proving this. Well, here's where things start to get wicked. The thing with civil trials is you don't have to go to trial. If it's too much work for A$AP Rocky, if it's too much back and forth, it's too much hassle, A$AP Rocky can just pay A$AP Relli a settlement saying, okay, if you want a certain amount of money to just shut up and leave me alone, here you go. This happens a lot in civil trials where someone's super famous, like A$AP Rocky. He's traveling around the world doing shows. He does not want to keep coming over, doing court cases, doing litigation, getting it drawn out. So he might just pay A$AP Relli a settlement. That is most likely A$AP Relli's goal. A$AP Relli does not want to do a civil trial. A$AP Relli knows he's going to lose that civil trial. So he's probably just hoping to make this as tough as possible for A$AP Rocky, so A$AP Rocky can just give him some money. Well, we'll see how petty A$AP Rocky is, because sometimes it just depends on the person. A$AP Rocky might be hitting his pride. Like, you doing all, we finna go over and we finna do this. And guess what? If A$AP Relli loses this, A$AP Relli is gonna have to pay A$AP Rocky's lawyers. He's gonna have to pay for his court fees and all that. And that's gonna be cash money. But we'll have to wait and see if this trial takes place in the first place. Wow, just being able to sit here and yap, that felt nice. That felt pretty good. Now I have a question. Honestly, I want you to ask yourself this. Have you ever had a friend like this? I think maybe I've been fortunate or something, but I have never met a snake friend, like to this degree. Like, you see about it, like you see it in the media and all that. This friend snake this person. I was starting to think they don't really exist. You know what I'm saying? But also maybe it's because I've been broke my whole life. Maybe money is the thing that does this. Maybe money is the thing that brings out, people's snakeness. But y'all let me know. Have y'all had a friend that would just snake you out like this? That will probably sue you for a bunch of cash instead of talking it out? And honestly, for the most part, just seems like they hate on you and hate on your life. Respectfully, the A$AP Relli is not looking good for bro. He really does just look like he is straight up hating on his friend A$AP Rocky. That being said, it could have been a real gun. He could have got popped off at. He could have been scared for his life and decided to sue A$AP Rocky for monetary gain, I guess. Because I feel like there's a lot of steps to get there. I'm a hood baby. Like, I grew up in the hood. I don't know, for all my people who grew up in the hood, like, it kind of takes a step to decide to sue somebody. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody pops off at you, bah, 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 most of the time you just saying, damn, that happened. I mean, most of the time we not suing like that. So the fact that A$AP Relli had it in his head to sue makes you think that he probably had it in his head the whole time. It was probably his plan the whole time. Anyway, that being said, okay, so yeah,